All right. So, welcome, Surbhi. It's a pleasure to have you for this conversation, which I've been looking forward to. How are you doing?
I'm good, Rajat. Thank you so much for having me here. The pleasure's all mine. Having given the chance to discuss CX with you, one of my mentors and somebody I always look up to. Thank you so much.
It's my honor. I just want to acknowledge the passion, the drive that you have for customer experience and the kind of work that you've been doing. And many congratulations for becoming a certified customer experience professional CCXP, which is a really a great achievement in to be in this space. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I feel honored. I feel I have more responsibility now.
Wow, wow. So for those who are listening, just a quick intro about Surbhi. Surbhi is Associate Vice President Customer Success with an MNC. And she's very passionate about customer experience, the way I have seen and worked with Surbhi during our master classes. She's somebody I've seen who's not just a learner, but an implementer. That's what is unique about Surbhi. So Surbhi, I'm going to ask a few questions, which is going to help a lot of people, a lot of CX professionals after they listen to you
Sure.
today. So just tell us how long you've been in this space of customer experience.
Um, I've been involved in customer experience in some way, shape, or form throughout my entire career of 13 years, I can say. There was really a work assignment that happened where customer experience or the people or the channels which were delivering it didn't come up. I was actually lucky enough to fall into the core CX profession around 8 years ago. So in that time, I've really read a lot of books and blogs, listened to experts, picked some food for thought from the inspirational CX practitioners and colleagues. So I recently took the final CCXP exam and validated my knowledge, my understanding, and very importantly, my career choice. So I passed the CCXP exam in February.
Wow, wow. Yeah, and for those who are listening, CCXP exam is amazing in a couple of ways. One is it's unique. It's run by CXP, which is a non-profit organization, and it's also really relatively a tough exam. And Surbhi, if you have cleared it, it shows your commitment, and it's of course a testimony to your deep knowledge about the subject. So tell us a little bit about your journey. You've been a practitioner of CX, as you said, for a couple of years now. But what's been your experience of thinking about becoming a certified professional, and now you are? So what was your journey like in terms of learning, in terms of exposure, in terms of whatever experiences you would want to talk about?
Sure, I would love to share my journey and a few things that I learned along the way. I like to make detailed plans. I did the same for my path for CCXP certification, and I would really would try to share that with you all sequentially. So my learning towards my CCXP journey started when I spoke to you, Rajat, about building a foundation of my learning. That was around January last year, which basically comprised of reading and reading and reading basically. So I did that for a couple of months. Then with the foundation ready, I took your master class sometimes in September. This master class didn't teach me only about the theoretical concepts, but basically what works and what doesn't work in the real CX work, the best practices that we can say. I was so thrilled to meet so many like-minded people who were successfully working in the CX domain for many years. Though I had been working in the CX strategy, and we may call those roles by many new names now, since 2011, building a network of my own over the time. But now it is when I had found my broader tribe, I can say. It was after this that I started connecting with a lot of people in the CX domain. A couple of things that I learned here in this masterclass, I brought them back to my work and I aligned my work accordingly. The results that I experienced was splendid at the workplace. The next thing that I did, now so far along, I wasn't focusing on passing the exam. I was focused on learning. So after this masterclass, I realized that in order to get a comprehensive learning which is relevant to the CCXP exam, I needed to start investing concentrated efforts now. I put all my readings in a very structural format that really allowed me to think fast on the exam. So I studied a lot of books by customer experience thought leaders, this was part of my post study plan for the certification. My final round of the preparation, I started taking the practice test. So my preparation for the certification took a month, checking the exam questions, tuning my thoughts to correctly answer those questions, covering the gaps where I scored low, etc., etc. Few things that I think that really helped me, and I want to say this here for the future CCXP aspirants. So I realized we should make sure that we review our exam eligibility rules as part of our planning process. And please, we shouldn't underestimate the CCXP exam. It is
Right.
not easy and it's not intuitive. This is
Mm.
what I've realized.
Right.
The first things that I read was the official CCXP handbook, and you also had provided that during the master class. It was the most important, most useful for the exam preparation. It breaks down into 6 strategies, categories of the exams in detail, along with the percentage each category has. They'll be grading us, so it was very explicit there. um, I already spoke about a lot of books that I studied and read for my exam test. After I took your exam simulator, I also read Michael Bartlett's CCXP exam preparation booklet, and actually I memorized that. It was really foundational and very helpful. I also purchased the exam simulator I told you. So towards the end, I did nothing but practice those your simulator and his simulator questions, so that I could really get comfortable with the test format. I also read all the answers, and I learned from my mistakes that I made through those CX exam study questions 2-3 times before I finally sat for the exam. Now I don't think so I'm telling anything which is new here. We've been doing this in all our school and college education already, but practicing exams are my best way to practice for a standardized exam. However, what I follow here was, I do not take the exams too early and waste a lot of good resource while I'm still learning. I start the preparatory questions when I think I am ready. So, well, that was my plan. You know me, I don't like overcomplicating things, and I always aim to be brilliant at basics. Well, that was a thing that kept me rolling. So, after an year of studying, thinking, planning, worrying, I got the result. I'm officially certified as a CX professional. That was a long road, but very valuable. I met really incredible people along the way.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you couldn't see, but I was smiling the kind of detailing that you have done, and you said, we do it all the time, but it's not. Everybody who's going to listen this and is listening, you would realize the kind of detailed planning Surbhi has done to reach this milestone. And she also specifically mentioned not to take the exam lightly. And these were like golden nuggets. If you're listening, I would encourage you to maybe type it in the chat box if you find one wherever you hear this, uh, to tell what is it that you've learned, because this is really valuable. Listening to the entire set of steps, how and what needs to be done in order to deserve this certification. Surbhi, thank you so much for detailing it for everyone. It's really valuable.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
that.
Rajat.
Wonderful. Um, yeah, and I think really liked what you said about practicing and how you have waited till you felt, okay, this is the right time. A lot of people ask, what's the right time? When do I take the assessment? Sometimes they take it early on to know where are they, and then they start to bridge the gap. But any strategy that helps you prepare well, gives you clarity, and keep you focused is useful. All right. So again, with this, how has your perspective towards customer experience changed? Has it changed in the last couple of months since you took this journey? And what has really changed for you?
Yeah, over the years, it has been evolving from time I started working, and over the years that I wore different hats managing customer service and customer experience. But more specifically, since I started preparing for my CCXP, and also since the time I've been certified, to me, the certification is some sort of a badge of honor. But I also know many world class CX professionals who do not have the certificate and they do not have the plans to obtain it. What I believe here for sure, this is not just a piece of paper, just a certificate that makes us superheroes for our teams and clients, but it's the journey of the daily adventures and commitments to the best possible results. What I've learned in this journey of preparing for my CCXP, this is gonna I am gonna cherish this forever.
Wonderful. So yeah, what I hear from you is, Surbhi, you're saying that certification, of course, you're proud of, but it's the daily daily practice of what you know and what you believe in is really the key
And
thing.
how do I bring that back to work
Oh, wow.
was important for me.
Mm, right. So so you've been continuously um, at- focusing on bringing the learnings back into your work,
Absolutely.
right? Wonderful. um, with whatever you've learned, whatever you're seeing, you're also following a lot of and you're networking and and you're aware of the journeys or different experts across the globe now. How do you see the future of CX evolving from where it is now? For those people who probably somewhere are passionate about customer experience, customer facing roles, and want to pursue this journey for long haul, what do you think is this future look like for customer experience?
Hmm. So I see the future of CX is to differentiate and not to commoditize. With the rise of the digital experiences and customer shifting expectations, mean that all businesses now have a CX strategy. But for sure, they don't all have the same CX strategy. I sincerely believe that when technology offers suggestions and ideas for businesses, it should act as a partner versus just a tool with a list of features. When we approach CX through this lens, I'm pretty sure any business can bring their own unique personality to the experiences they create on digital channels. I also see the future of CX in personalization and not over automation. I see personalized experiences aren't the result of automating everything. They actually are the result of businesses actively choosing what to automate and what not to automate. I'm finding that customers are getting more accustomed to the seamless mix of human and digital interactions. I also see the future of CX is to refocus businesses on customers' value. So, investing in customer experience is an engine of growth, which helps us refocus business around customer value. I hear at what customers say and the tone at which what they say. This helps me create more space for thinking about customer value. Speaking personally, it was the customer insights that come from the VOC initiatives that inform me how do we develop our products, how could we help people get more value from our products. And having said all of that, Rajat, I'm wondering if you have plans to start a class round two for existing CCXPs like me to discuss the way forward. I would be among the first ones to enroll. Food for thought for you, Rajat.
Okay, Surbhi, thanks for beautifully explaining. I really like the depth that you brought into my response to my question, right? Wonderful. And yeah, of course, thanks for expressing your interest in the, I mean, you really named it as well for me. So let me think about it. It's a nice term you used, and why not? If there is a need, and of course, we do this all the time, definitely would love to add value with that masterclass version 2.0, as you said, right? So thanks for that idea as well. uh, okay, great. So yeah, I think personalization, differentiation, some of these things, I think we heard, so we talked about, and really how the future looks good for CX, and it's the right time to get into this space. Forrester calls this, and couple of years or maybe decade or more, as the age of customer. Even if
True.
this is the age of maybe AI, ML, whatever, right, Surbi?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, who are going to listen to this, they've already, I'm sure they're going to get huge value. These are golden nuggets, as I said. What would be your suggestion to the CX professionals who want to build career in this space? Kind of what does it take to be a successful CX professional? Is there any, as probably as we start to wrap it up, is there some advice from you as a seasoned leader who spent years in this space and have already got now internationally uh, accredited with CCXP certification? What's your advice to some of this aspiring and practicing CX professionals, if any?
Post my certification, a lot of people have approached me over LinkedIn asking me the similar question. While our discussions have varied depending on their stage of career life, their aspirations, etc., among other things, one thing that I've told them all, and I'm repeating myself here, is that I feel if you're ready to signal to the business community that you are serious about customer experience and your intention is to be part of the leadership ranks, it is time to work on earning your internationally recognized CCXP certification. Doing so made me, and it makes all of us a part of an elite group of certified CX professionals who lead the way in customer experience, innovation, and action. A lot of many of them asked me, and they have asked me, why bother, why take the CCXP exam? So it's still quite rare to find a CCXP. Well, there've been only a couple of hundred certified professionals around the world, but doesn't that actually gives us even more of an edge in the CX industry if it's still a niche certification? So even to those who do not believe in any certifications as a general rule, I recommend them take this one. It would really help you build and execute a structured, organized CX strategy across an organization. For me, the CCXP certification helped me to better understand my current role in my company and how it relates to the CX field overall. I found my learning process rewarding. I recommend it to every professional who is serious about pursuing customer experience career.
Wow. Yeah. Again, I think very valuable advice and insights for those who want to build career in this space, that maybe you don't believe in some kind of formal tag or certification, but my experience, and I think Surbhi is sharing hers, that going through this whole process itself is enriching. And I can add, it brings more focus, it brings framework, it adds even clarity as to what path do you want to take, right? So that's amazing advice, Surbhi, for those who want to build their career. And I think CCXP again is the gold standard of certification, if not any. If you know, anyways, anybody who's going to get this is definitely a serious CX practitioner. So you would be seen as that. And I think Surbhi
Definitely.
advised, yeah, for leadership, you would be in most of cases in your organization, or even if somebody is looking for change, many people after this certification start to get new opportunities. That happens all the time, whether it's looking for another job or a suitable role within the organization, all kind of opportunities start to open up, right?
True.
Right. So this kind of brings us towards the end of our conversation. I just want to let know those who are listening that we too run CX Masterclass. Surbhi has been part of that. We also have our inner circle masterminds, where practitioners, CX professionals meet and help each other grow. So I'm going to leave a link to the website in the notes below for those who might want to explore it further. But coming back, Surbhi, I really want to thank you. I'm really grateful in spite of being busy. I know you many things going. I really want to thank you for taking time for this conversation. And I really love the depth and detailing you did. It's going to be extremely valuable for those who are going to listen to this. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajat, for this gesture of inviting me here and allowing me to share my experiences with such a broader audience today. To the audience, good luck joining the ranks of the certified customer experience professionals around the world. We definitely need more of you for sure. Thank you.
Right, right. Thank you.